Hi there, this is Noah with the DRS Training Department. This is going to be a brief video tutorial on Rainchecks. Now in our orders and payments video, we already covered canceling an order without a Raincheck. And canceling an order with a Raincheck is pretty self-explanatory, but as a brief reminder, let's go ahead and click into the date of one of our orders. Now if we click into the order, we can see that they've already paid in full. This is pretty typical for our dumpster clients. Most of y'all require payment in full in order to reserve. So depending on what your cancellation policy is, it's probably most typical that you would refund the transaction in full. So for a situation like that, or if you need to apply a partial Raincheck, we need to manage the payments for the order before we cancel it. The only circumstances where we don't need to manage payments for an order are if we're applying a Raincheck for the full amount of the order and that amount has already been paid. So let's say the customer requested a cancellation and our policy is that we will refund everything except for a $50 deposit. And that $50 deposit can be used as a Raincheck within a year. So in a situation like that, we would need to go ahead and manage the payments on the order. So let's go ahead and click into Pay. And in this hypothetical scenario, let's say that I told the customer that I will go ahead and mail them a check for everything except for that $50 deposit. So I need to go ahead and go down here into Select Payment Type and choose Check. I'm going to put in the check number of the check I'm going to send to the customer. Then I need to click here to pay a custom amount. And again, it needs to be everything except for the $50 balance. And I'm going to submit without a receipt. In a few moments when we cancel the order, the system will send an automated cancellation email to the customer, which will have all of the relevant information about the order and the cancellation, including the payment history. So I don't feel it's necessary to send the customer 2 emails. The cancellation email they'll receive in a few moments will be sufficient. So again, I'm going to go ahead and submit without a receipt. And now the payments have been managed, as we can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and click back into Dispatch. And if I click into the order, we can see that it's now listed as having $50 paid. We can now go ahead and cancel the order and apply a Raincheck for that $50 that remains. I'm going to go ahead and add some cancellation notes for our internal records. And now the order's been canceled. So let's say the customer calls us up and they're ready to redeem their Raincheck. Let's go ahead and go through the process of redeeming that Raincheck for the customer. The easiest way to do that is to click into the CRM, do a search for the customer name, click into the customer profile, scroll down to the bottom of the screen where we'll see all the customer's historical orders and quotes. And this part is very important. We don't want to reactivate this old order. That could wreak havoc on our reporting and accounting. The fastest way to redeem a Raincheck for a customer while ensuring that our reporting and accounting remain accurate is to start by copying the old order. And once we're in here, we can edit the cart and contents of the order, and we can also click here to change the date. Now our start form is going to be auto-filled, since again, we started this order by copying the previous order. We should go ahead and update these cancellation notes. And once we're in here on the payment screen, we should go ahead and click into Select Payment Type and choose Raincheck. All of the available Rainchecks for that customer will pop up, so we can go ahead and choose the one that we want. And I'm going to go ahead and submit and send a receipt so that the customer has their receipt and a record of the transaction. And that's all there is to it. The last thing we should take a look at before we wrap this tutorial is the Rainchecks Report, and we will find that under Reports, General Reports, Rainchecks. So anytime a customer calls and asks about the status of their Raincheck or anything like that, you can consult this report. As with all of our reports, you can edit the time frame and export to CSV. So that about does it for this tutorial. I hope this was helpful. As always, anytime you're working in the system, you can always access the knowledge base if you have any questions. And you can also access the knowledge base by clicking here on the floating help icon. And the tech support department is always happy to help as well, and you can reach them at 505-435-9731, extension 102, or support@eventrentalsystems.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.